dare stop recording, you son of a bitch.
Hello?
You didn't stop recording, did you?
What?
You didn't stop recording, did you?
No, I'm still recording.
All right,
We
cool.
got to
Me
keep
too.
all this in.
I think I accidentally hung up on you. Yeah. Oh, god damn it. All right, it's staying.
Holy shit.
Oh, man, my recording volume is super loud. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Hello? All right, that's a little better. Jesus Christ. So you were saying something about your apartment?
Yeah, my apartment actually flooded from all the tears I cried since you moved out, man.
I get that.
I've been missing my big old teddy bear, you know?
Man, I've been missing y'all too, dude. Like, for real. The 2 weeks of not doing the podcast, like, I felt it.
I mean, yeah,
You know?
that and you just like... It's not like we physically got together much in the last couple years because of the pandemic, but...
Yeah, it's been 1 year.
It
might feel like a
felt
couple
like
years.
a century. But you look, you're a big shot. You said you're gonna make it big as a metal detector in Cali, baby.
That's right. Yep. I've been combing the beaches. I've been looking for
those expensive soda cans.
Yeah, those diamond soda cans that they have out here.
Yeah.
Which having a metal detector does not help with at all.
You know, it should have thought about that.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'm totally ill prepared.
But the diamond detector is so much more expensive.
Yeah, that's true. I tried to you know how like pigs can find truffles?
Yeah.
Like they can just like sniff out truffles.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could find a pig diamond or diamond pig.
And have that help
doesn't work.
you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I called Christina my diamond pig, it didn't go off. It didn't.
No, I bet she didn't appreciate that very much.
She didn't like it. She didn't like it that much. So
I would love to be your diamond pig. That'd be an honor to me, but I guess she doesn't get it. You know, it's fine.
That's the new nickname. You're my little diamond pig.
So how's it been, man? You've been there for, I mean, no longer than a week, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We got here Sunday, so like 9 days ago. Man, I feel like my volume is gonna be all over the place in this recording, but we'll see. But yeah, I got here like a little over a week ago, and legitimate like when we were driving into the city, we set up an appointment to look at. We just started like looking at houses, looking at apartments, like literally right away. Like we didn't even go to our Airbnb when we got to the city. We like went immediately to an apartment to check it out. And you know, it's one of those things. It's like I'm sure it's just we were so anxious to find a place already, and just knowing that we moved here without a place to live,
Right.
and you know, all of that was just a lot of like. Really, the only thing that gave us anxiety, like the only thing that really stressed us out, was thinking like, wow, like we're moving to across the country without a place to live.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's really terrifying. And so the first place we looked at, we genuinely really, really, really liked it. And we looked at maybe 2 or 3 other places, but over the next couple days. But we ended up signing the lease for the first place we looked at, like the place that we drove into when we got to the city to look at immediately. And it is a really cute, small, you know, 1-bedroom apartment in this really, you know, I keep using the word cute because it just is. It's like a cute little apartment in a cute little neighborhood. The neighborhood's called like Kensington, and it has this like really like small town vibe. It has like a square, like a little city square.
Huh. Kensington. What is like the what's the number of your apartment?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say 93,000.
And the zip code?
680. Yeah, the zip code is 666666666.
That's pretty crazy, dude.
Dash 3666.
Oh wow, it keeps going.
Yeah. It's a long one.
Yeah.
California has extra long zip codes, but
They think they're so
Dude, like-
special over there.
I mean, we are.
Oh,
but
okay.
we literally within 2-3 blocks of our place, there's a coffee shop, an Italian restaurant, a French restaurant, a pizza place, a wine bar. We even found a fucking zero waste store that like we've been looking for like a while now. Yeah, like
what is a
literally
zero
store.
waste store?
They mostly sell, this location specifically mostly sells like cleaning supplies and like shampoos and lotions and soaps, and it's literally like you just come in with your own bottle and you just fill up. Like there's no packaging, they just have raw materials. So like raw window cleaner, like you don't get the Windex spray bottle, you just bring in your own spray bottle, you fill it up, and the amount of liquid that you take is what you pay for.
Huh.
So like zero waste, that you're not just buying plastic containers every single time you have to get a new bottle of shampoo or something. So literally within walking distance of our place, we like something that Christina has been looking for a long time. We have, a 3-minute walk from our front door.
That's awesome, man.
Dude, yeah, a coffee shop right around the corner that I'm gonna be able to work from every day. Like it was really, really ideal. Like the apartment is not ideal, but the neighborhood is. So we were just like, you give and take, man. I'd rather live in a smaller place, without a washer dryer, which is really the issue. But I'd rather live in a smaller place without a washer dryer than a really nice, badass apartment that is in a fucking, shitty neighborhood, which is kind of where we're at right now in our Airbnb. Like, we had a helicopter circling our Airbnb the other night.
Oh my God.
For like 30 minutes, dude. Yeah. We're living in a pretty crazy part of town right now. It's like very 6th Street feeling.
Oh God.
Like, yeah, like the worst parts of downtown Austin. It kind of feels like that here.
No.
Like there's a lot of drunk people at night walking around, homeless people. We're constantly like, I got an app that literally like is fed directly by police scanners and like firefighter scanners and shit.
Yeah.
And so the other night, it was trippy, dude, because like the helicopters woke us up because we're sleeping with the windows open because it feels fucking amazing all day here. And I even get cold at night with the windows open, which is like amazing in fucking June. And so we hear everything. So we heard a helicopter just literally circling, like they had their fucking searchlight and they were circling our block. And we were like, what the fuck's going on? Christina's kind of like freaking out, and I didn't realize that she was because I just opened up that app on my phone and I saw like, oh, there's a guy with a gun like 2 blocks away from here. Anyway, and I just went back to sleep. And so Christina, like, for some reason I didn't tell her that I knew what was going on, and so I let her stay up and be fucking scared for like an hour. While she's like, how are you sleeping? Like, there's a helicopter circling us. Like, what if there's someone like hiding in our little property? And to me, I was like, it's just a guy with a gun 2 blocks away. Like, I'm done. I'm over it. But
Dang,
you kind of
nothing
realize
phases you, huh?
Well, I mean, honestly, like, no. Like, if I see that there's a situation going on 2 blocks away and there's a helicopter hovering, like, that means that it's being taken care of in my head. So I'm not really worried about it because I heard sirens, I heard the helicopter. I'm like, yeah, well, this guy's not going anywhere. He's they know about him. It's not like a guy just walking around with a gun and the police aren't aware.
Right.
But dude, this app is like really fucking eye-opening. How much shit is constantly going on in this fucking city. Like, I'll get reports on my phone of just like a man assaulting a woman throwing water bottles at her. And it's just a police report, and you get it on your phone.
Oh God, I would delete that, dude. I would not have that on my phone.
I am pretty close to deleting it, dude. Yeah, because I can see myself getting way too obsessed with this shit.
Nah.
And a big thing too is like my main concern here is fires, right? You just hear about all the natural fires and wildfires in Cali. So that was my main concern moving here, and then. I guess it's kind of good, honestly. This app is making me realize that there's fires all the time, and it doesn't seem to be a concern for anyone. Like it's a new thing that we have to deal with, like being from Texas. But it's like there's constantly brush fires, there's constantly structural fires, there's homeless people that their encampment goes on fire and then a field will go on fire from it.
Yeah.
Like so it kind of has desensitized me a little bit to like the fire scare that I had moving here. So at least there's that.
Well, that's good. Not really in the way that I think would be best for you to... It's not the best way to get desensitized, is that there's so much that it doesn't matter.
Right. But I was thinking if I had this app in Austin, it'd be the same thing, man. There's just constantly shit going on.
That's true. Yeah, especially where you were, because you were right next to like downtown.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be nonstop stuff, like
yeah.
nonstop reports of man walking around with gun, man with knife,
Yeah.
woman attacking people with stick. Like literally, I'll get that shit on my phone here, and I'm just like, all right, well, so it is a little desensitizing. But other than that, dude, like we are just loving it, man. Like we went around last night and we got some like really good gelato, and we made a really fucking good dinner, and we kind of feel like we're back in our groove. We took Bo to this like dog park that's just a beach. And just hundreds of dogs running around, and like,
God, we have to
go amazing.
There if I visit, man.
Oh, dude, you're gonna love it.
Oh my God, I'm just gonna
amazing.
Like belly flop into the sand and let them all like drown me.
Dude, it was just a sea of adorable dogs. Every dog was like weirdly well behaved. So like there were no fights, there was no aggression, there was like any dog that you can think of was hanging out, and Bo was just having the best time, and we had a fucking great time. And it's just, yeah, man, just like so many things to discover, and the weather's amazing. All the food we've had so far is really, really good.
Yeah, and it sounds like from before we started recording, it sounds like y'all are already over it. It sounds like you're already bored.
Pretty much. I'm ready to move back.
Had your fill.
I'm like, I think I've seen all I could see. You don't know how excited I was to go to a dispensary.
I mean, I'm sure I could gauge how excited you were.
Probably by judging by how much I talked about it before we moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super. It's all really fun, man. Just discovering all this new stuff and.
Oh, and dude, you can finally make your weed YouTube channel.
Dude, I've honestly been thinking about that. That's the only thing that also sucks. The only other thing that really sucks about moving into an apartment versus a house is I really wanted to grow my own weed. And
sure, yeah.
I can't do that in an apartment. So that's a bummer. So I think that's what we're thinking about is like for this year, like really love this apartment and make it our own. But then also next year, we're going to have a lot more time to look for houses. So that's kind of like the idea is to find a really more permanent place next year. But holy shit, dude, like moving to San Diego without a plan exactly on where you're going to live and within 3 days finding a place that you really like, I think is just so fucking lucky.
I mean, it could have gone a lot worse.
Dude, I mean, the Airbnb that we got for 2 weeks, I mean, I hate to tell you how much we paid for it, but it was over $2,000.
Well, 2 weeks is, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. Like $130 a night times 14. So yeah, it got really expensive. And the last thing I wanted to do was spend another 2 weeks in an Airbnb to find the perfect place, quote unquote.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Little did we think that we would find a place that we were just super happy with. Literally the day that we got to the city, and the first place we looked at was just like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like this little, feels very California. It's on like, it's in a building with only 2 other apartments, kind of like our older place, but like way nicer. Behind someone's house, so it's just kind of like you're sharing this property with a house. The neighbors have like an adorable little like 2-year-old kid, and like the lady next door to us, like we haven't even seen her, so it's perfect. And we're on the second story, and we just overlook all these, because all the houses are 1 stories. We're just overlooking all these 1-story houses, and the sunset you can see from our kitchen windows.
Oh dang!
So it's just
That's
like
awesome.
We're cooking dinner, and yeah, dude, and there's just nothing but a sunset with palm trees and all these like Spanish-looking houses. And you can overlook all of them, and it's so fucking cool. It feels so California. It's just like it felt perfect for us, you know. So,
dude, I'm so happy that y'all got over there, that you did the dang thing, and you're finally like enjoying living in Cali, man.
Yeah,
I'm so happy
thanks,
for you.
man.
That being said,
dude.
it doesn't really pertain to this podcast, so let's just get on with it.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that exciting. You know?
Well, real quick, I mean, before we get into the podcast, I want to know how things have been going in Texas.
Well,
I know you flooded your apartment with happy or sad tears, whichever.
It's hard to tell.
You haven't seen your diamond pig in a couple of weeks.
Well, Well, here's some fun news is that I'm sure you've heard about this, but they're telling us to stop to like use minimum amounts of electricity over here.
I literally just saw that this morning that there's been like unplanned outages.
Yeah,
now?
it's the same thing as winter, but for the summer. And because apparently there's a heat wave coming in, and we're gonna get to 120 degrees.
No.
Yeah. So that's
like
that's what we're preparing for, and
oh my god.
So y'all got out at a pretty good time, I'd say.
Dude, I was texting a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about that, and he was just like, man, y'all left at the perfect time. And I was just like, well, yeah, it's summer in Austin. Like, of course we left at the perfect time. I didn't realize y'all are going to deal with 120 fucking degrees.
No, yeah. It's going to be rough, man. And like,
holy shit.
We'll see. I think it'll be... It's a one or the other with Texas, apparently. You either get heat stroke or frostbite.
Jesus, dude. And all because they want their own grid, and it's like they're not managing it right. And that's ridiculous.
Look, we've seen how good it is this last year, haven't we?
Right.
And with the amount of like the electricity bills that some people have gotten because of this system, it's insane.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
I know, dude. I mean, that's holy shit. That's fucking crazy, man. I hope y'all do okay with that.
No, I think we'll be fine. But yeah, it's not something to look forward to. Aside from that, I have been going out a little. Been going out to the clubs just to see what's up.
You've been clubbing?
I've been clubbing a little bit.
Dang, boy.
Not how other people club. I usually just sit in the corner and drink until I'm confident enough to talk to somebody. Or maybe that is how everyone clubs. I don't know.
That is how everyone clubs.
What I do is I get as sober as possible until I don't want to talk to anybody. That's how I club.
Yeah. How I did it was I would drink until I felt confident enough, and then I ended up drinking too much, and then I would go home.
Well, that's fun too.
I don't think I ever willingly approached anyone at a bar that I wasn't there to begin with. That I wasn't there with.
I mean, man, I did do that for like the first time. The amount of times I've introduced myself to random people without like a middleman or without a reason, I can probably count on one hand.
Right.
But I had enough Moscow Mules, and I got the confidence.
That's a good drink.
Yeah, and it turned out great. They were cool people. Hopefully we'll meet up again.
Nice.
But whatever. That's just what's
I feel like
happening over here.
Intention's everything with that, man. Like, girls know or guys know. I mean, they know when they're just getting hit on, So it's just like, so many of them are just going to shut you down. But if you're just being nice, I mean, some people will be a dick because they think that you're just trying to hit on them at first. And then some people, will realize that, oh, this is just a nice dude who's just trying to make a friend.
I mean, yeah, it was just like, it was a couple of people. They came in together, and like, I got there way too early because I had no idea like what time to go to the bar. I got there at like 9.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Well, apparently
I was thinking like 8:15 or something.
I got there at 6 when they opened. But no,
I had a cup of coffee.
The lady was like, "Yeah, no one comes in until like 10:30." I'm like, "God dang it!" So I just I took a quick walk around the square, came back. These were like the only other 2 people in there. They sat next to me. I'm like, what the fuck, Might as well. And it turned out to be a pretty cool night.
Nice. So you took them both home?
Yeah, I took them both home. Did the slam jam, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep. Made them your slam pigs.
I made them my diamond pigs, if you know what I mean.
They went digging for truffles, if you know what I'm getting at.
They found crap. What do pigs sniff out?
Truffles.
They found my truffle, dude.
That's what I call. Oh no, we're leaving it at that.
All right. What's up, guys?
Yeah. Well, dude, we're kind of trying to do the same here in San Diego. We're having to like fucking.
Well, yeah, you got to make a whole new friend group, man.
Yeah. I mean, luckily we both have like one friend. Both of our one friends that live in town like are people that we haven't talked to in a while. But one of them was a really good college friend of mine that we kind of ended on bad terms. So I'm really looking forward to like seeing him again and reconciling and reconnecting a little bit.
Right,
and
right.
The terms we ended on were so stupid. It was just a fight about dogs and stuff, and it was just like
About dogs.
yeah, it was just that I think my memory was that he was coming to visit, and I asked him not to bring his dog because his dog was like a little aggressive, and it was always very aggressive towards Bo, my dog. So like, I specifically was just like, hey man, you're more than welcome to stay at my apartment, whatever, blah, but just don't bring your dog, please. Like if someone can watch him or whatever. And then he said sure, and then he ended up bringing the dog anyway.
Well,
So
all right.
it was an argument, yeah, and then it was an argument that ended up being like, well, we're never going to talk again after this.
But that was in the past.
Exactly.
That was a while ago.
Probably 10 years ago at this point. So, yeah. So like really looking forward to seeing him, and we got a couple of people. But yeah, man, we're at the beaches, at restaurants, anywhere we're going. We're like way more open to talking to random strangers now than we ever have been.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a little practice on
I mean,
not being a dickhead.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that maybe the pandemic helped out with this a little bit. You're like so isolated throughout the entire thing that
True.
any social interaction it seems like a good thing.
Dude, I found myself doing things very uncharacteristic of myself, like during the pandemic. Like
Was it butt
when
stuff?
we went to no, that's always been in the cards. But
Oh,
we
okay.
went to go stay at a cabin one time out on the middle of fucking nowhere in Texas, and it was like a cabin kind of like camp resort thing. So like I'm going up to the office to talk to someone, and while I'm waiting, a lady is standing behind me with her kid, and I turned around and I was just like, didn't ever, dude, if it was up to me, I would never talk to a stranger like
Right.
most of my life. Like I'm just not into it. And so she was standing behind me, and I just kind of like, I'm just standing around waiting, and I look at her, I was like, we're going to Garner State Park today. And she was like, okay. and I was like, have you ever been? And she goes, no. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of waited around a little bit. I go, so you from here? And she was like, no, we're not. We're just here to hunt. And I was like, oh, so where's home? And we just kind of started going back and forth. And I'm just like, I've literally never I've never asked a question. So where's home?
So
Like that is such a like dad at the grocery store, like,
no,
just some older man talking to you, just being like, "Oh my god, this guy just wants to make a friend."
like you're just some character in a comedy show, man. That's what it sounds like to me.
We're all just characters on the stage, man.
The world's a
Like,
stage, and we're all just players.
The world's a vampire, and I'm just a fang, brother.
Wait, so you're the vampire's
I'm a
fang? Is that what
bloodsucker.
you're saying?
Mm-hmm. I'm just part of the body. I'm part of the world.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I did watch Blade yesterday, so that's actually fresh on me.
That's a classic, dude. That still holds up.
Yeah, man. Wesley Snipes, he was looking fresh as hell through the entire movie.
He's badass in those movies, dude.
Oh man, it was
Love it.
it was pretty good. I'll be honest, it was pretty rad. The special effects, like they didn't age poorly. Like they still looked pretty good.
Yeah, they surprisingly hold up. Like, I probably saw it recently, like in the last year, and I watched all three. But the only special effect that really, really didn't hold up in the first movie was when the main guy gets like chopped in half during the final battle,
Oh,
and his body like
man, that one
it like goops back together.
The thing with it didn't look great, but just the vulgarity of it, just the like you
Yes.
see the body pulling itself back together. I think that that itself got me over the cheesiness of how it looked.
Yeah,
Just the
it looked like lava lamp
grotesqueness
goop.
of it, man.
Dude, I loved it.
Yes.
It's kind of like in the new Army of the Dead movie on Netflix.
Army of Darkness.
No, I think it's Army of the Dead. It's the new Zack Snyder zombie movie on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
But the opening credits are probably the best part of the whole movie, and there's a part where a lady is like just with a 50 caliber like machine gun, just like do, just like blasting away at these zombies, and literally like an entire like their torso just starts getting like blown apart.
Jeez.
Like all of these body parts are flying everywhere, and I'm just like, dude, this is exactly why I'm watching this movie.
Well,
All right, are we done here?
No, yeah, we're done. So
right.
we'll see you next week. Thank you all for listening.
Bye.
That was our review on 7 Years in the Mystic Room.
Oh, yeah. Music.
Yeah, I thought we'd switch it up for today. I thought we'd listen to an album.
All right.
Yeah, you cool with that?
Yeah, I didn't ask for this, but it has been forced upon me.
Yeah, no. I just like to push you outside of your little bubble. You know, I like you to experience new things. I don't like you all holed up, just talking about your little movies and stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I really, really appreciate it.
No, yeah, you should.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a big brother thing for me. That like I'm volunteering to do this for no other reason than to help you. You know,
for my benefit,
for no pay or anything. So
since when? You make me Venmo you $25 every time we record an episode.
Hey, all right, we're gonna redact that.
For production fees, whatever that accounts for.
I say production fees / cocaine. Okay, so you know where it's going.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good segue to this record because he talks about cocaine on one of these songs.
He does. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the half an hour music podcast called the Earbuds Podcast.
The Babblecast.
As always, am your host, Brett Centaur Hanrahan. I feel like I've done that before. It's an easy well to go to. With me, as always, is my co-host. We're both co-hosts.
I like to think so, but you called yourself the host, so I let you ran with it.
With me, as always, is the other host, the other main host, Lucas Centaur Intrikovs.
Lucas, the other host, Intrikovs.
Lucas, the other host, the other Centaur Intrikovs.
Oh my God, are we changing our podcast to the Centaur Cast or Centaur Pod?
Centaur Buds.
Honestly, I love Babblecast. Babblecast I want to write down.
Yeah, Babblecast. Like, I was thinking of podcast names for something else. I thought of Scattercast, Babblecast.
Yeah, Scattercast is good.
Something like that.
Well, Brett, some people call us the odd couple of podcasts.
Is that what they've been saying?
Other people call us the pod couple of oddcasts.
Well, it's so weird because in the South, people call us the odd couple of podcasts, but in the North, I've heard people calling us the pod couple of oddcasts. I think it's just like a regional dialect type thing.
Yeah, I think it's like a carpetbagger, muckraker situation.
It's like a Coke soda type thing.
Right, a pop. We're the pop cast.
Lightning bugs,
in
fireflies.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Right. I just like to call us earbuds.
I like to keep
personally.
Listen, I like to keep it simple.
Yeah,
I'm just an old simple man. I'm just a
simpleton.
I'm just a simpleton.
So what exactly are we talking about today?
Well, I'll tell you. We are talking about Brick Mortar's debut EP, I believe, 7 Years in the Mystic Room.
Okay, so let me listen to that real quick.
Yeah, just go ahead and pop it on. You can just skip through most of it.
Give me 17 minutes.
It's mostly the same. It's not not much happens. So you can get through it pretty quick.
I mean, I don't know if that's a joke, but you're not that far off.
Really? Okay. All right.
I mean, that's exaggerating, but yeah.
Well, this is very intentionally an EP due to the move. But I still think it's a great record, and it's a nice 17-minute, like 5 songs, just a real quickie if you're like going to the gas station or something,
Yeah, quick in and out.
Quick in and out. It's got, one of the reasons I wanted to bring it on is just because like the percussion on it is so good. It's surprisingly catchy.
Yes.
And I don't know, man. It's just got a kind of groovy yet experimental feel to it that I really like. And so those were the main things. I think I found this on Reddit when I was looking up like what are some perfect 10 out of 10 records, and this came up, and I wouldn't quite agree with that.
Wow, yeah.
But
That's a bold statement.
it's pretty bold, but not a bad album either. Like, not a bad way to get into this.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I mean, this is a drummer's record. Like, the drummer is just killing
for sure.
it. He is killing it the whole time, man. He's like some of these fills that he does, and like the combination of like, I think for the whole record, like the combination of like reggae and hip hop and jazz is just kind of like this through line throughout the whole record, and the drums are just driving that.
Well, I read on the Wikipedia that they used to be, now I don't know what this is, an improv drum and bass band.
Really?
And they moved more into a cohesive pop type thing when they became Brick and Mortar. So hearing like reggae stuff and obviously a lot of drum and bass type things, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, man, it reminds me a lot of like 21 Pilots.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot, because 21 Pilots, I feel like especially some of their earlier stuff was like pretty reggae inspired. Obviously very hip hop inspired, but it's like just a combination of like reggae, hip hop, jazz, like packaged as a rock band.
Yeah,
is really, really unique.
And it's a duo.
And it's two people. Like this is so much noise for two people to create.
Yeah. And when they perform live, it's the drummer and the other guy. I think he usually plays bass and sings.
Right.
And they got everything on a track, but it's still, I think it's still pretty impressive for two dudes.
Yeah, because it's not just drums and bass, right? Like there's organ. There's a lot of organ.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of electronic instruments throughout. There's honestly not a lot of guitar that I heard.
Is there any guitar?
There might not be any at all.
I really don't think there's any, dude. Which is like, I guess as a guitarist to me is like pretty fucking impressive to like be able to write a rock album without guitar.
I mean, it seems like at this point it must have been a conscious decision not to have guitar, or at least to keep it to a minimum, because it's such an easy instrument to just pepper in to any song,
Right.
But it does kind of keep it a low frequency type album,
Yeah, it's very deep, like low end.
Yeah, it's a lot of low end. The bass is pretty high in the mix compared to like most other music. It's got a kind of a jungle vibe at times to me. Dude,
jungle is a great way to describe it. Like even kind of like circus-y at times.
Sure.
And it's definitely there was so much for me to like on this record, but the things that I didn't like as much were the very poppy aspects of it all. The claps, like during "Told You Not to Let Go,"
when they're kind of like in the chorus, and
the claps like kind of bugged me a little bit. It's just little things like that I think are just like overdone.
Okay.
But yeah, I will say like, I mean, have you heard of Flowbots? Did you ever listen to Flowbots?
Yeah, of course.
These guys remind me of Flowbots too, because there were so many moments. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like there were so many moments on this record that I thought that they were gonna bust out into a ska song. Like the beginning, like "Told You Not to Let Go," the way that song starts and builds up, like in the intro, like before they get to the first I guess verse. I don't know if they start with a chorus, but like that whole build up just sounds like it's like like I was just totally hearing reggae and ska in my head. Yeah. I was 100% expecting it, and I think the drums are like what really like the drummer to me is obviously like listens to a lot of ska reggae.
Really?
Same with the singer. To be honest, like the singer's voice, I mean, he sounds really, really influenced by reggae to me. The way the melodies that he uses are, I mean, he even says like "Boss DJ" in one of these, and "Told You Not to Let Go," which is like probably a Sublime reference. But also like, the way that he's singing is very reggae inspired to me. Like I hear a lot of reggae in his melodies.
Man, having little to no experience with reggae, I didn't notice anything like that. But That's
I mean,
cool that you got that.
yeah, I mean, it's someone who doesn't like or listen to a lot of reggae. Like, I wouldn't expect you to pick up on that. But maybe that helps to kind of explain like why this sounds so unique. Like this isn't. These aren't melodies that you hear in a lot of rock music.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
And yeah, but I mean, I will say too, like I really like the singer's voice, like just the sound of his singing, like the way that he sings is really cool.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of his melodies a lot.
I was kind of worried at first because it's like a bit of a not a high pitched voice. It sounds like it's just about to get nasally, but it doesn't quite get there. So I was worried it would get annoying after a while, but it never did. Like, I love it. I love his voice as well.
Yeah, I think it helps that it's only 17 minutes, right?
I mean,
like maybe if it was 45 minutes of that, it might get old after a little bit.
Yeah, maybe at that point.
Yeah, and it was high. Like when he's like, "I told you,
Yeah, not to let go."
Yeah, but it is so catchy. Like all of his melodies are really catchy. But I will say, man, once you get to like Backwards Clock, his melodies start to sound very similar across all the songs.
Is that right?
He has to me, he has this way of writing melodies that he just seems to gravitate towards, and it became repetitive after a little bit. Like the way that the inflections, the up and down of the notes that he would sing, I'm just like, wow. Like Backwards Clock, parts of it sound like "Told You Not to Let Go," and new possibilities or new possibles or something.
Yeah.
It's starting to sound a lot like 20 Pound Hammer, or 20 Pound whatever. It's like, and I think I think it might be something also just like as a singer or vocalist or something like that. Like I am paying a lot of attention to the vocals on anything that I listen to. Like I'm sure you probably pay way more attention to the drums than I do.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we've talked about that before, where like I'll show a song to a friend of mine who's a drummer and he'll hate it because the drums are boring. And I'm just like, yeah, but the melody is so good, or like the lyrics are so great. And he's like, oh, the lyrics are like second or third or whatever. So like that's something I noticed a lot on this record. It was just like after a while the melodies got repetitive, despite they were all super fucking catchy. But I can't tell you one over the other. Like one melody over another on the songs.
Man, well, I thought going through this record, each song has its own like unique feel to it. I never got bored with the melodies. I never noticed like a pattern through it. I thought he worked pretty well with what the music gave him. So I don't know. I thought it was great. I didn't think he was kind of like defaulting to anything myself,
right?
But I mean, I don't.
Yeah, there was patterns that I started hearing more. Like as by the third song, I could start to tell. I was like, okay, this guy's kind of reminds me of like a Coldplay type thing, where it's like he can write in a certain key that's like really good for his vocals. And he kind of, I mean, I think on and it's not to say like it's all the same, because there's parts of like Backwards Clock is when I really started noticing it, which is like halfway through the EP. But that's not to say that it like every single melody is the same. Like there are parts of each song that are unique, but he does have this like I told you not to let go is very similar to part of Backwards Clock, which is very similar to part of 185, and it's like he kind of has these notes that he seems to like gravitate towards.
Right. I mean, yeah, I don't know anything about music, but it could be a very real possibility that these songs are all like in the same key.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. And I honestly think you're starting to show your ignorance to composition right now.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. And I don't care.
Sounds like such a dick comment.
You're ignoring the importance of the composition of the music.
I think you're
Did you even read the sheet music, bro? Are you kidding
Dude,
me?
yeah. Did you see how many fucking quarter notes there were in this? Jesus.
So many half note rests. You gotta be kidding me.
I will say though, man, I love how reggae-y his vocals are. There's something very 80s reggae to me about it. 80s, 90s reggae to me. Specifically, yeah, which, had a very specific sound. The people who were popular at that time, like Barrington Levy and some of these other guys, like they all had their go-to little things that they would do. And I think that's when people like really kind of zeroed in on like, well, people like when I do or whatever, so I'm going to do that on every single song,
Right.
Like Maris Yahoo definitely has like go-to like melodies and ways of singing things that it's just like after a while you're just like, we get it, like, but I loved the like, just like with the fucking drum, if there's only drum and bass on the record, like they better be fucking good, and the bass is great on the record too.
Oh yeah. I
doing really cool stuff.
It took me a while to notice, but the Grace has some bass parts.
Yeah, right. It really did.
It's like not flashy, but it's better. I don't know.
It's better than fucking System of a Down, just like do 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 do. Like I can play those bass parts like with no problem. That's when I know they're not good bass parts if I can play them. He does have nice jazziness to it, like especially like on like New Possibles. I feel like he has like some really cool bass parts on that, kind of walking bass lines.
Yeah, right.
And the little like kind of
like
right.
Yeah.
That, and he does like those cool little moments of just like when it really is just the bass or the bass with like the kick drum or something. He's just like do 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 do, like they just kind of have that percussive, like they're really in sync with each other, and that's probably why they both sound really good together.
I mean, I've always tended to enjoy bass and drum duos more than guitar and drum duos. And maybe it's because like if you're a guitar and drum duo, it seems like you got to kind of work around each other and maybe fill each other's gaps. But with bass and drums, y'all work together a lot more cohesively, and it's much more of a team effort. Or at least that's what I've seen with like Royal Blood, Death from Above, 1979.
Yeah.
These guys.
Right, Brick Mortar. Yeah. No, yeah, I think it's growing up, I always thought it was weird that like bass was considered more of a percussive instrument, and like realizing that you call the bass and drums the percussion section, I'm just like, wait, what? Like that and you realize how in sync you really have to be. It makes sense that these dudes were a fucking improv duo or whatever. Because it's like, to be able to write music that's this tight with bass and drums, they must be able to just like, they probably work so well together,
right? Yeah,
that they can improv this shit and still do it well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've never fucking heard their improv stuff, but
I mean,
I'm assuming it's.
I'm sure it must have been something.
Right, it was something to get them to start doing this.
Yeah,
there's such little information about these guys out there.
Yeah, really. And
for people who
even
have
the CP,
like, right?
Like
how many? They have like, they have almost 500,000 listeners on Spotify, and I haven't heard anything about them. And their Wikipedia page is like, barely has a below the fold.
Yeah, and like I believe this EP came out in like 2008, and I think they're still going. Like they had a virtual show last year.
Yeah, they're definitely still going.
And so
I listened to some of their latest stuff, and it's definitely a lot more poppy now.
Really?
Yeah, a lot more pop music. And apparently they did a remix of or a remix cover of Jimi Hendrix's Voodoo Child that was used in a movie like in 2015.
I have no idea how that would work out, but I guess I'll need to check it out.
I would love to listen to it.
Well, but yeah, like it to me these guys are kind of a mystery, honestly.
A little bit.
Like in finding live videos of these songs is actually pretty tough. It seems like they don't play the songs from this EP very often.
I would love to see some of their live video because apparently their live shows are like really like involved and theatrical and.
I mean, yeah, I saw that on the Wikipedia, and then I looked up some live videos, and it honestly didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary. So I don't know what.
Oh, really?
I don't know. The videos were a little more modern, so it might have been like back in the day they put more work into it or something. I don't know.
Maybe so, yeah, because I saw that they were like kind of compared to Flaming Lips a little bit with like their live show stuff. Yeah, which is like really made me want to see them.
Well, I'd still love to see them if they're coming around. But
yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
I'll catch COVID to see these guys.
Wait, is that the COVID mutation? That's coming out next
year. The Delta 8 strain or whatever for this band.
Full of THC and
fucking totally worth it.
But
I bet a lot of these songs too would like be not that I enjoyed this record, but I bet live the songs would be a lot more like intense. You know, like having those drums be playing live, man. I would love to see this guy play that shit live.
For sure.
Some of his fills were so cool, dude. Like some of his decisions that he made.
Oh yeah, yeah. He does some like crazy fast. Like I think my favorite drum part is in the first song, where they kind of have that breakdown. He's like
yes.
It's like very jazzy, you know.
Super jazzy.
I love
super
that
jazzy
part so much. I've been trying to incorporate it in the jams that Luis and Michael do. But
hell yeah. I mean, that's such a 20 pound is such a great way to start any record.
Yeah, I think so as well. I love the intro. And it just goes into the vocals and the instruments coming in. It's a very catchy little pattern he's doing on the vocals.
Yeah.
They love numbers, man. These guys love numbers.
They do.
They got like,
yeah,
$40, $60 ticket with a $20 bill. Got $7. It's 7 years in the Mystic Room, 20 pounds, 185 drop. It's like,
yeah, gotta.
God, y'all. They love math.
Something about $47 or something also, and
no, yeah.
Man, yeah, it's a 20 pound is definitely one of my choice nugs, man. It is so fucking cool.
Me as well, man. It's just like super. I don't know. As you said, it's the perfect way to start off the album.
Such a great that little like the thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
Yeah. And that like where they kind of break it down a little bit, and the bass is just kind of holding out this one note, and the drums are doing.
Yeah. On the rim. Yeah, I love that, dude.
Man, and they have this like kind of dirty like synth, like organ or something playing in the background of it. Like those parts like get me so like those are the little parts that like give me fucking goosebumps in songs, man. It's just this quiet intensity, you know. It's not like they have to fucking be in your face and loud and everything. It's this really quiet aggression, and then they go from that like thanks to you. Thanks to you, and then like Mars Volta-esque like fucking explosion of drums.
Yeah, and the bass is like
and then they break down to that almost like kind of Middle Eastern like
yeah, man,
yeah, like in a they got your tambo going, they got a fucking organ going. It's really hype. It's a really hype 3 minutes of music, man.
Yeah. What did you think of the lyrics throughout this album? Did you look those up at all?
I did. You know, man, I fucking am getting so tired of the Genius website.
Yeah.
I am so sick of how shitty this website, the UI is so fucking bad, or the UX or whatever. I mean, how many times are you scrolling down the page and you accidentally click the fucking banner, the advertisement at the top, because it somehow follows you as you scroll down the page and covers up the content for just a split second. Because of that, I didn't look at much. I got really sick of Genius.com, so I just kind of started following along with the lyrics. But I liked the lyrics that I could pick up on. I liked it. I think it. I like the storytelling lyrics and "Told You Not to Let Go."
Yeah, like telling little micro stories of these people.
Yeah, which is another kind of like Sublime-ish thing to me, you know, where they kind of will tell the song will be about someone, like someone that they know or whatever. Right. But dude, yeah, when they're starting out, "Told You Not to Let Go," and they're just like, oh, what's that intro part that he's just like?
I mean, he's just kind of doing. It's very slow, very somber. Yeah. Met another father on the coast of Spain. Yeah, with all this ambient, and then they go into do.
Yeah, the way that build up is what makes me really think it was gonna be ska. And I never goes back someday, and I told you. Like, yeah, all I could hear was fucking Sublime style ska playing right there.
I mean, man, I mean, if this record had some horns, I think that would make it real.
Dude, yes, that would make this like, it would just propel this into like
I'm sure they would
way cooler territory.
I'm sure they would have found a cool way to integrate it with this sound that they've crafted. You know, like
totally.
Probably put a bunch of effects on it, like some delays and weird reverbs and distortions and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, now I really want to hear horns on this. That would be such a perfect addition to this, which would push it over the edge to that reggae territory that I really think these guys could get to. I did like the lyrics. I thought some of them had a cool message. Like I like the "Told You Not to Let Go," which was like apparently about his dad being a blood diamond smuggler.
Really?
Apparently it's about the singer's dad being a diamond smuggler, and that they got in trouble, or his dad got in trouble. So they're just talking about like, I was there the next day, or we had to stay there the next day, or something. I don't know what he's talking about in 20 Pound, but I liked all the number wordplay stuff.
For most of the songs, I read the lyrics and I had no clue what he was talking about. Like there were some instances where like, all right, this is probably like drugs or something. That's maybe a little bit about like suicide and the backlash of a past love or something like that. But
yeah, like I think like Backwards Clock is a pretty obvious like what the theme of that is, where it's like
for sure.
Yeah, people taking all these cosmetics to look younger, and there's no turning back the clock, But I like it. I like the message of like trying so hard to stay looking young and trying to be beautiful their whole lives, and like kind of what a waste of time that is. Like I dig that message. I totally agree with it, and I think the way he wrote it was cool. Like talking about like pulling up. God damn it! See, I just clicked the fucking album cover. That's not what I wanted to fucking click on. I fucking hate this website.
Pretty cool album cover though, right?
I love the album cover. I really didn't know what to expect from the album cover. I thought you pulled up a reggae record, like with those colors.
I mean,
and that fucking font that they used.
Honestly, to me, I saw that cover and I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be some like weird experimental like percussion stuff. And I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
Like that was pretty spot on. I was actually expecting not to like it as well.
So when did you hear this for the first time?
Oh God, probably 6 years ago or so.
No shit.
Is when I first heard it, and I just, it's on the rotation. I'll take it in every once in a while when I want a drum heavy, real quick, catchy type deal.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. Yeah, I this didn't when I was listening to it, I was surprised that you had recommended it because it just didn't. I wouldn't expect you to like this, just because of how much reggae I heard in it. I was just like, But thinking if you like 21 Pilots, I could see someone liking this too.
I still don't see the 21 Pilots connection. I know there's a couple 21 Pilots songs with reggae parts in it, but aside from that, I don't know. Especially with the new stuff they've been putting out, it is not so great.
Yeah, I haven't listened to any of their stuff probably in the last 5 years. So I'm talking about their first couple albums maybe are the only ones I really listened to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the lyrics on Backwards Clock where he's saying dead alive yet fresh and completely numb. I like the what do you take to feel on fire? What do you take to feel so young? And then chemicals enhancing beauty, chemicals to free your mind. The backwards clock is always creeping. I think it's I like the way that he was kind of it's on the nose, but at the same time it's kind of imaginative, a little.
It's
a little
still
more poetic.
It's kind of a bit psychedelic.
Definitely, yeah.
And I love the random fills that this drummer does on this song. Just random
Yeah, man.
Do
you think this guy plays? Do you think this guy plays with the fucking chopstick hand?
The chopstick.
Of the one stick. I always think he's the way you hold chopsticks.
Oh, the jazz grip, where it's kind of on the side for some reason.
Yes.
Maybe so, man. I never understood how any drummer could actually drum like that, but
he just sounds like he has that little swing to all his drumming. It's he almost sounds like jazz trained.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I feel like that's how you get that swing. It's you can't I see the way that most drummers play. It feels like a more stiff way to play drums.
It's a little more stiff. It's a little more heavy, a little less nuanced.
Yeah, a little more heavy-handed. You're not able to do as many little ghost notes and stuff here and there. This guy is just all over the place with his drums. The first time I listened to this, it almost sounded like a RX Bandit's side project or something to me. With those drums, dude, I'm this drummer is not satisfied just doing what is needed of him.
I mean, yeah, so many very creative beats. I'd say very creative things when he actually does a normal beat. It's oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little it's a little surprising when he's just doing a straight just kind of not doing too much, but it did really really make me think of early RX Bandits, and again with the melodies. RX Bandits have very reggae infused melodies, and I feel this is the same. This sounds like it could be RX Bandits is little brothers.
Little RX Junior.
Yeah, they're little RX brothers. RXJR. I love that.
Oh, and that transition from Backwards Clock to New Possibles.
Yeah, that
very
is
cool.
nice.
They're kind of hitting this tom, and then just goes into this this kind of
this little
creeping
explosion
groove beat a little bit.
And another RX Banditsy thing to me. And yeah, dude, that beginning of New Possibles is really cool.
Yeah, it immediately sets the tone of the rest of the song. And
he's doing this deceptively simple kind of marching drum thing, but it sounds like there's shakers going on at the same time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And he's doing those maybe those little rim shots also.
He's kind of riding on the rim of the snare is what it sounds like. Yeah.
You got a great bass, doom 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 doom.
Yeah.
I like the little guest vocals that they had. Look inside. Little kind of hip hoppy feel to that.
Yeah, a little bit. This was a contender for my Nar Nug, but I kind of dropped it at the last second for something else. New Possibles.
Yeah. Same here. Backwards Clock and Told You Not to Let Go. I mean, Told You Not to Let Go is super catchy. Backwards Clock definitely that's when I started kind of being oh no,
yeah,
it's losing me a little bit. New Possibles brought it back pretty strong, man. This is one that's live. you would really feel that intensity of the way that the drums are playing.
Yeah.
And those like boom, those like little tom hits that they'll do, like really fucking reverby.
Yeah.
Definitely got me going for sure. Like this brought me back a little bit, and I think they ended it really, really strong.
Yeah, with 185 drop.
185 drop was my other choice nug.
Mine too.
Dude, wow, we had both of the same ones.
This may be the first time we've ever chosen the exact same Nar nugs.
Yeah, dude, that's you know, I can't say I'm surprised though. It's like they were such good bookends to this EP.
I mean, yeah, like I still love all the other songs, but the way that 20 Pounds starts it off, the jazz stuff they do, the build up, the catchiness of the vocals is great.
Yeah.
And the way that 185 drop bookends it, as you said, with this still a little creeping, still a little it's like there's a shadow in the corner that keeps like moving, and you keep trying to look at it, but you never quite catch a glimpse.
Sure.
Like that's the kind of feel I've gotten through a couple of these songs. And it has that, but it also has this bit more of a build up. It has this
they
part
take
where
their
it's
time
like
a little bit.
A little like your heart starts beating a little quicker, and the danger is getting a little closer, and you can't see it, but you can sense it.
Yeah, man, it does, like, they take their time. I think it's the longest song on the record, so like they really do take their time to like build it up. A lot of these other songs just get into it, which I dig. This one does have that beginning, that like really kind of simple but really impactful, kind of like aggressive drumming, perfect for this build up. I love the melody that he's singing. Again, is just like very reggae to me. Yeah, like very, very cool. Love the electric organ that's just kind of like filling in all that empty space from just like.
I mean, you know about me in my little organs, so
dude, and then they kind of break that down to the like, I don't know, like,
yeah, this little synth in the background.
Yeah, and however they edited that, where the synth, like, they have the synth going like but it sounds like it's getting cut off with every little
yeah, it almost sounds like a sample or something.
Yeah, it sounds like they edited it after the fact for it to sound like that.
And the drums just like just
going.
Oh,
dude, is this the one that has the fucking double bass drum part that is just, yeah, dude, that double bass drum part in the bridge is so fucking killer. And it is just so like driving and unexpected, and he's doing like, it sounds like he's doing double bass and toms.
In that,
so he starts doing that like 2 minutes in, he starts doing that like kind of leading up to the bridge, and then once once he starts really singing, like, once you let go till your heart's on fire and learn to let go of it, I think he's doing double bass during that along with the toms. It sounds like he's going unless it's all toms. I mean, but it sounds like there's extra going on.
Oh,
and I'd love
that's definitely double kick,
dude.
I know, yeah.
How cool is that?
Jeez,
like,
man.
that he's doing.
This is, I believe, the only time he uses double kick on the EP.
Totally, and not just like the only time that he pulls out the double kick, but he's doing quarter notes, like double kick quarter notes, like. I mean, that is hard.
They're more like 8th notes or 16th notes, honestly.
Oh, there you go. See, I thought I was hoping I'd be right with quarter notes because I don't know that shit.
No, I think it's 16th. I don't know. I haven't been in band in ever. 6th grade.
Yeah, 6th grade was the only time I was doing it too. I just think it is so cool to do that same part, but with just the toms first. So you just
right.
And then once everything else kicks in, all of a sudden he's keeping that going, but also doing the double bass at the same rhythm. It is just so full, and like, and it's one of those moments that
almost.
It's yeah, dude. It feels like a mudslide or like a fucking
Yeah.
like
Like a building is falling apart above you, and you're just
and
like watching the debris fall.
and you just wish it would last longer. Like you just want the demolishing to just last a little bit longer so you can really fucking soak it in and really like live in it, you know? But it really it is the part with the actual double bass is probably 10 seconds.
If that, yeah.
If that. And it is my favorite moment on the whole EP. And it's such a great release too once they go back to the verse where they just open it up again.
Yeah, it's very like it's very chill. It's like almost suspiciously calm when it goes back to that part.
Yeah, but then they're doing all this crazy syncopation, all this very jazzy, very RX Banditsy syncopation between the drums, and they're not just doing like on the ones and twos, you know, like they're doing all these random like get
Yeah.
very RX Banditsy to me. Like another thing that I was able to like really latch onto and be like, I fucking like that a lot.
Yeah.
That it was once you kind of go through the whole thing and you listen to it multiple times and then you get back to 185 drop, you're just like, yeah, New Possibles just does not compare. And then you have the last like minute and a half of it that is him like whistling.
It's kind of it's an outro where it's like, you know, that whistle part and varying degrees of the drums coming in, and it's a little more ambient, you know.
Yeah, weirdly like Western vibes with the whistling.
Yeah, a little bit. It kind of turns it into that with the whistles.
I guess it's probably because it sounds a little bit like the ooh wee wee,
and also like a Western jungle.
Yeah, like a Western rainforest. But a great way to end the record too. Like they're really good at making you want more. Like the songs that I liked a lot were always like I could listen to, like that 185 drop is 4.5 minutes long. I can listen to another 4.5 minutes of that.
Right.
You know, 20 Pound is less than 3 minutes. I could have that be double the length because they're both so catchy, so weirdly aggressive at the same time, and like weirdly aggressive and rock, you know, music, but like at the same time really catchy. Yeah. There's beautiful musicianship and moments in there, like with I think the organ and the synth like add so much to this, like
for sure. Yeah.
So much. And man, now I can't get over it. I wish there were horns on this whole fucking on all 5 of these songs. They would add so much.
Maybe we can hit him up and find a couple people for him and get him to remake the album.
Yeah, you know, it's been 11 years, man. Like maybe we can get them to revisit this with some horns. You know, just for us.
just for a couple old head fans.
Yeah, you know, hey, we're doing a podcast all about your record. Maybe throw us a bone and re-record all 5 of these albums.
Yeah,
or all
hey,
5
like
of these
we're
tracks.
doing this for free for you guys, yeah. So maybe give a little something in return, you know?
Yeah, maybe record a whole nother EP for free for us.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
I mean, honestly, I'm not asking for anything else but just to add horns to already existing songs. So all you got to do is go get horn players.
Just get the WAV files. Just get the finished songs. Just put some horns in it. Re-release it. It's not that hard.
Dude, that's like, I wish I was as talented as like someone like Mark Ronson. Because that would be so much fun for me to like take songs that already exist and just make them mine. Like just add, I think, you know, a guitar part here, and like this thing that I'm hearing in my head would sound so cool just on that one part, and all of a sudden it's, you know, it's my remix of the song, and all I did was added an element. Like I would love to be able to be that talented.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, I would too.
Yeah, not just I would love to do that. I would love to have the skills to do that, because I don't.
Well, we can only deal with what we got and try to learn all we can.
And God damn it, it ain't much, Brett. It ain't much.
Well, what would you rate this album, Lucas?
Oh man, you know, there was only two tracks that I wasn't like huge on, which were "Told You Not to Let Go" and "Backwards Clock." I would say "Backwards Clock" is my least favorite.
Yeah, sure.
I think there was nothing really special to take away from it in terms of like songwriting or musicianship or anything. "Told You Not to Let Go" is at least like really catchy, tells a cool story. You know, had a Sublime vibe to it at times for me. I definitely thought like it's a reggae ska song without the reggae ska guitar on it,
without the reggae ska in it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you know, for being pretty, it's pretty fucking solid, man. So I'd give it a really high 6, if not a low 7. I'll give it a 7.0.
7.0. All right.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah, man. A very surprisingly entertaining 5 songs. You know, for very unique. I can't think of anyone else that sounds like these guys. Right. Especially for 2 people that create so much, joyful noise, to quote a Queen Latifah movie about a church gospel choir. These guys impressed me a lot with this.
Yeah, I think 5 songs, 17 minutes. I think it's a great example of what a good EP can be.
Yeah, for being a debut, this is really impressive. I would be really proud of us. I'd be really proud of myself if I was involved in this record.
For sure. Yeah, and it is a record in its own right, just because it's not an album length. It's not just a demo that they're giving off to people. Like, it's its own work of art.
For sure, it has a focus.
Yeah,
definitely. There's a. As some songs might sound like others, it doesn't feel like an EP.
No,
it feels like there's a lot of thought behind it.
It feels it's very cohesive, and it's very focused on its theme and what it's trying to do.
Definitely, like that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, it's very focused and cohesive.
So for 7 years in the Mystic Room, I've given it a 7.7.
Hey, going with the 7 theme.
Going with the 7s, man. I was gonna like 7.6. Well, I can up it. I can up it for them. Because I know 7. how much they love their numbers. I'll give it a 7.785226.
Damn, Michael's gonna love that rating.
I think, I was thinking like every time we get on with Michael, we should just do some like 7-digit ratings.
I love it. My rating's gonna be like pi.
Yeah, so mine is 3.141596.
Yeah, keep going.
7, 8, 3, 2, 1, 8.
I know you have pi memorized. Like, you're fucking acting like you don't.
I just like to be humble. I'm very humble.
Trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Trying to be cool in front of your friends.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
you're right.
Typical. Typical.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. We are slowly but surely getting back to steady recordings, I think.
We're getting to our schedule. We're
getting back into it. We're going to have another crunch week. It feels like the last 3 months have all been crunch weeks for us for some reason.
You're not wrong.
But
we're recording probably 3 or 4 episodes in the next week and a half.
Yep.
Sounds like
so look forward to another EP, likely.
Nope.
Well, from me.
Not from me.
But yeah, it's not said with contentious,
no.
With contentious words. Like, I love doing this.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this crunch.
Yeah.
While I'm also excited to get just back to our schedule and back to equilibrium and everything.
For sure.
But man, for not doing this for a couple weeks, I'd give this episode a solid fucking 7.7.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking a 7.7777. Wait, 7.7777777. Yeah.
9. So you can round up that last 7.
Yeah, we'll round that last 7 to an 8. So 7.7777778.
There you go.
All right, great.
It means a lot that you would rate it the same. as me. I had the exact same rating in my head. Same number of numbers.
Look, man, we're just on the same wavelength today. You know?
We're vibing.
We're finally, now that we finally got our auras out of the same vicinity, now that one of us is in Texas, the other is in Cali, I can finally think, you know?
Yeah, you can finally breathe. There was just so much competition between the two of us for the city.
Well, God, it was so stuffy, you know? And, like, only one of us can be the king of Texas.
Right. Yeah, there's not enough room for both of us in Texas.
Yeah.
Like, it's for our egos.
No, sirree.
Yeah. Well, I think on the next episode I know exactly what I want to talk about.
Okay. You sent me a series of emojis, which I
did.
guess was a hint. I never actually tried to guess what it was, but I can look back. The first one is a heart, 2 lungs, and a brain. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I could think of was the head and the heart. But I don't know if you even have that band on your list.
No, I tried really hard to get into them and I couldn't.
And then you sent a ball of yarn, a spool, and a needle with a thread in it.
Pretty clear what that is.
Yeah, man. And it's so clear that I think I don't even have to say it. And you could probably just tell me what those two things mean.
Yeah, well, you guessed Primus, which I thought was hilarious. And it was a very entertaining back and forth for me sending those emojis because, like I mentioned, I went to a dispensary. So I was having some fun sending emojis. But it is a band called Coastal Kites.
Ah, yes. This is one of the few 9 plus ratings you gave in your albums of the week.
Yeah, albums of the day. Fucking put some respect on it.
Whatever. I didn't really keep up.
I know.
And a pretty high 9 as well, if I remember correctly.
Man, I will say, when I listened to this last year, it really blew me away. And I haven't listened to it since. It was a one-time sit down. So it is called Journey into the Savalin Forest by Coastal Kites. It is very tribal and experimental. So I'm super, super excited to hear what you thought about it. I'm really hoping that you can get it on your, because I know it's on Spotify, but I'm hoping you can find it.
I mean, let me Coastal Kites, just spelled how it sounds, I assume.
Yes.
We got Journey into the Savalin Forest.
There you go. 10 songs.
It is 10 songs. Good,
Beautiful.
Sir. All right, I'm downloading it right now. It came out in 2018. Oh wow.
Pretty new. Yeah, pretty new. Yeah. So yeah, we will talk about that next time. I think it's going to be a really interesting conversation. There's a lot to unpack on that record. But in the meantime, until that record comes out, thank you everyone for listening. You can find us on Instagram at EBPcast. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, leave us a follow, or just fucking unfollow us. If you're following us right now, unfollow us. That's what I'm requesting.
Unfollow us. Tell your friends to follow us. Then follow us again.
Yeah. Then once you feel like FOMO from all your friends following us, then come back groveling back to our page.
Yeah. That's the preferred method.
Brett, yeah. You can find Brett at Brett Hanrahan with like 3 R's or something.
3 T's.
You can find 3. There you go. You can find me at Jean-Luc Guitard. Yeah. And thanks for listening. It's we're hoping to come back to a more regular schedule next time. We'll keep coming out on Mondays. If you guys have any ideas for albums that you'd want us to review or feature on the podcast too, like let us know. Leave us a comment.
Yeah, we were thinking of maybe doing a poll. Seeing if anyone was interested enough to care to vote.
Yeah, we'll see. The 30 people that follow us on Instagram, let's see if they want to get involved. But I do think that we're going to have some really cool, pretty random albums for the next few episodes that we're going to get into. Like, I know that the few ideas I have are going to definitely, I think, challenge Brett, your...
oh, boy.
I think they're going to challenge you a little bit, but I think in a good way.
Is this that California ego that they talk about?
Yeah, I think again you've shown your ignorance to composition so many times
Right.
that I feel like
You got to
as a
teach
San
me
Diegan,
straight. You got
I
to.
gotta I just don't want you to go out there in the real world and embarrass yourself. So
Right. Thank you for that, by the way.
really just looking out for you. But I think really challenging in the sense of that it's just music that you don't normally gravitate towards. So I think that's kind of why I wanted to do that and just maybe fucking force you to listen to something you wouldn't normally listen to.
Sure.
But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Brett, it was awesome talking to you and
Yeah,
seeing
man.
you. And
You too, of course.
man, I would love if during a random, I almost said Mortalis, but a random, is it Straggler Daisy? That's the name, right?
We're actually changing it to Dagler Stracy.
Okay, great. That's not confusing at all. Well, during one of y'all's like jams, I would love if you guys, Zoomed me or Skyped me or whatever, just so I could see all you guys at once.
Sure, yeah.
Just an idea. Just an idea. But yeah, man, I would. I think this was good.
You know what? I think this was good too.
Well, bye, buddies.
Bye.
And 3 and 2